Hey YouTube, this is going to be a long video, so sit back, relax, and there may be some language, so there may be some profanity from me, so please do not hold that against me. This is a very serious video. It's about Megan Meier, and this is about a story about her. But let's go. I'm going to try to, I don't know how long this will be.
Adolescence is hard enough.
Please, Mom. Nothing's gonna happen.
Without a friend
Megan Meier added a boy named Josh Evans,
who's actually an enemy.
who didn't exist.
How can you be in a relationship with him online? You don't even know him.
I'm gonna be honest, I dated a girl on the internet once and it screwed my life up. And then I got my life back.
No one can be trusted.
They said nasty stuff to her.
As a terrible secret lurks in cyberspace, and
This
the
is a really fucked up situation.
neighborhood tears itself apart.
They were very close to being lynched.
I just remember hatred.
I want you to feel what I feel!
They needed to know the truth.
This is a show episode on Web of Lies. O'Fallon, Missouri, back in 06. O'Fallon, Missouri, 2006.
13-year-old Megan Meier has had a tough time. She's depressed, getting picked on at school, and she's been diagnosed with attention deficit disorder.
I have autism disability, autism disorder.
She was going through a ton of bullying. She always felt different from the other kids.
Different is not always bad. I'm gonna be honest, I tried so hard to fit in high school. I tried so hard to fit in because I wanted friendship, and it didn't always come to me. I hung out with a bunch of... I was a loser in middle school. In school, I was a loser. I'm gonna put it that way. I was a loser. I was a loser, big time. I was a big time, one of the biggest losers ever. Yes, I'm gonna say it right there. I was a loser in school, a really big loser. I was a zero. Everyone went around saying shit about me, saying that I was a loser, that I'm retarded, that I don't belong in the world, that the world would be better off without me, that you can hear the pain that I had to go through, that I'm a loser, I'm unloved, no one wants me around them because I wanted to hear stories and cheer people up, but then people excluded me from everything. They're like, can you stay over there or go away or something like that. No, don't let the weird kid come along. Oh no, we don't want him here. That's how I felt in high school.
And so Megan was always very self-conscious. She was miserable, crying in the morning, crying in the afternoon, and something had to be done.
But today she started at a new school, and she feels like her life is already beginning to turn around.
Hi. How was your first day? Different. Everyone was nice. Good.
That's actually sweet that her life changed like that. That's the way I went when I was in high school. When I was in high school, I was ready. I said, this is not going to be like those other years where I was a loser. And to be honest, I started to fit in more.
They asked me to play volleyball tonight. Can I go, Mom? Of course. Yeah, absolutely.
I felt amazing about it. I had my daughter back that was happy and excited about life and hanging out with friends.
She was a lot happier with this school change. She was always...
That's actually sweet. That's Allison Myers, Megan's sister. And I can't bear to go through what she went through because I almost lost my sister.
hanging out with people, and she had gotten involved in volleyball, and she was doing really good.
It's the beginning of a new chapter in Megan's life.
Hey, Megan. Hey, you still coming over? I got new lip gloss. I had volleyball. Maybe tomorrow. We could MySpace. I'm not allowed.
Megan and Sarah were complete opposites, and it was a positive thing in the beginning because Megan was that kid that was kind of always on the run.
Bye.
Where Sarah was the opposite.
Sarah was a really good friend of hers, apparently, according to what I've heard. Sarah Drew.
Was more of an introvert. They would hang out, spend the night at each other's house, go shopping, but over a period of time, going...
Well, you know, friends do that.
Into middle school, the relationships start to change.
She's just busy. It's not anything to do with you.
A year and a half ago, Sarah's mom, Lori, moved her family to Waterford Crystal Drive because it seems like the perfect place to raise children.
We were very close-knit. We all had kids.
That's a family, friend, and neighbor.
Somewhere around the same age. They grew up together. We were all outside at the same time, watching our kids learn how to ride bikes and play ball. It was a good neighborhood.
The neighborhood was definitely safe. I don't ever remember there being a crime. And
family, friend, and neighbor.
On my street, at least, the entire time growing up there. Megan's family and my family are really close. You know, I considered Megan and Allison as basically my little sisters.
Well, let's go. Oh, I just have to get my e-pack.
That's sweet.
Okay.
Lori Drew is hoping that she and her family can blend into this close-knit community.
Hi, Lori.
So Megan's got another volleyball match, huh?
Yeah, she may be 18. Lori Drew was one of those parents that wanted to mold her daughter, Sarah, and she wanted to mold those friendships in too, because she always wanted Sarah to be happy.
Well, she doesn't really seem to have any time for my Sarah anymore.
Well, that's actually, I can see why she would want her daughter to have friendships.
She doesn't even chat on MySpace.
When Lori found out that Megan was switching new schools, she was not happy. And I explained to her, this isn't about anything other than making the best choices for Megan and helping her through.
And Megan got picked on at school, so you need to understand that she would want to switch schools for being called, I think she was called Thunder Thighs, which she was not fat. She's beautiful. She was a beautiful girl. What the hell goes into your fucking head calling her fucking Thunder Thighs? Assholes. Bitches.
Had ADD and suffered from depression from a very early age.
I suffer from anxiety. Yeah. It's bad.
Nothing.
Lori, I could never stand her. She was just real annoying, mostly. Me
That's Allison.
and my mom, and none of us could really stand her, but she's just always around.
Maybe we can get Ashley to come around.
I want to hang out with Megan. That's why we moved here. Mom, you have to do something.
I will, baby.
You're so annoying.
With Megan's new school and friends come new passions. The latest craze is MySpace, but Tina is unsure about it.
I had MySpace. I got a MySpace. I wanted a MySpace, but I made it just approaching my junior year when I was... How old was I? 17. I got my MySpace when I was 17.
Please, Mom.
You're too young.
But all of the girls are on MySpace.
Well, I have to protect you.
I can understand the mother's concern, maybe.
I was a little apprehensive about it because Megan was that kid that would run 20 miles into the wrong direction just to kind of be a part of something, even if she knew maybe there's danger. But I also wanted to build trust with her. And I told her I would let her have a MySpace, but I put very strict rules in place.
Rule 3. Mom and Dad are the only ones with a password.
And rule 4.
Nobody else does this.
Rule 4?
Hey.
When I told her the rules, she was like, oh my gosh, Mom, seriously, you're like a warden of a prison. No one else is like you.
When Megan goes live, she chooses Pretty and Bling 16 as her instant messaging name.
So it says, Pretty and Blend 16 meal, not meal, Pretty and Bling 16, female, I'm an 8th grader, Ghetto, St. Louis, Missouri, United States. She likes hip-hop. She likes to shop. She likes hot guys. They're fine.
She loved being on the computer, and she took so many pictures of herself doing goofy stuff.
That's similar to what I do. I kind of do kind of pictures like this on my Instagram sometimes. And I'm like, and sort of like this. Yeah, goofy isn't bad. I like to be goofy and silly. And one girl said, "You're not impressing anyone." Of my friend Seth, one of my old friends, and he said, "I like to be silly. I like silly, and I love goofy too." Yeah, I'm silly, and I used to do really stupid shit all the time. But I would always have fun doing whatever I wanted to do.
Anytime Megan was on, because I had to sign her on, I was always within that area.
No peeking.
And I always signed her off.
Okay, continue. My sister was always on the computer. It was downstairs in the basement, but I didn't really pay that much attention to her because she'd always had her face in the computer.
M for modern, E for enthusiastic, G for goofy, A is for allerging or something, N is for neglected. Megan. I don't know the A. I can't pronounce
About 3
it.
weeks after Megan started her MySpace, she got a friend request.
Josh, profile, male, 16 years old, somewhere, Missouri. I have a great chest, own trillion CDs, goal this year, meet a great girl, her weight, don't really matter. You know, I'm gonna be honest, I care more what's on the inside of people than what's on the outside. I was in Taco Bell one night after work, and I heard a guy call his sister fat, and I turned around. I was disgusted. I was literally disgusted by what he said. And then I went over to the mother and bought them their cinnamon buns for dinner or for dessert, and then told, because I think that made the girl cry, and I felt really bad for her for getting called fat, but then I bought the cinnamon buns and told the mother that her daughter's not fat, and she said her daughter's not fat either, so go wipe those tears out in the bathroom. And then I talked to her and told her it's more what's on the inside that counts rather than on the outside. You're not fat. Then on the way out, they said, "God bless you" to me for buying them cinnamon buns, and I said, "Thank you." And I was eating my dinner. Apparently I walked into the right restaurant because I felt bad for that girl. You know what else I've done? I've given money to people who are less fortunate and given dinner to homeless people. Alright, well, moving on with this video.
What? It was a picture of a good-looking boy, and his name was Josh Evans.
He wants to be friends with me.
And I said, "Well, Meg, do you know him?" And she's like, "Mom, no, but he's hot."
But he's 16.
Please, Mom.
16 against a 13-year-old is a little extreme, but 3 years of difference is not very much. But I mean, 4 to 5 years is statutory rape or something like that. If he would have been like 18, he would have been charged probably. I mean, but you know, but Josh Evans isn't real.
Come on.
More on
Nothing's
that.
gonna happen.
More on that later.
Tina is instinctively skeptical.
Friends with me.
And I said, "Well, Meg,
Hold on.
do you know him?" And she's like, "Mom, no, but he's hot."
But he's 16.
Please, Mom. Come on. Nothing's gonna happen.
It's actually not true. Something really bad did happen.
Tina is instinctively skeptical.
All right. I let Megan add him because I wanted to build trust with her, but I also said if anything negative, anything sexual is said, he's deleted immediately.
Trust me, if I would have known this at that time, I would have gone back to save this girl's life. Because Josh Evans wasn't even real, but I'll get to that in a little bit. Because you've probably seen my other Megan Meier videos. If you have or haven't, I don't know if you have or haven't, but this is bad. This is really sad what happened, but more on that later. Because if there would have been anything negative, I would just block them off of her Facebook.
They started talking.
How was your day? Missed you. That's what Megan said. So I'll read Josh's messages first and then Megan's.
Megan saw pictures of Josh and she thought he was cute. And he
cute picture.
Commented on her pictures and said,
"Welcome to Wayfair.com. We sell home
Sorry.
stuff. Your home stuff. Anything."
And he commented
cute picture
on her pictures and said she had beautiful eyes and a great smile.
She did have a nice smile. I'm kind of the same way. You see?
It was a
Love your beautiful long
nice
hair.
feeling that he was saying nice things to her, telling her she was beautiful.
And I think she had a picture and cut out hearts and put them in the pictures she had of him. I think.
Boy crazy. She liked talking to Josh
Boy crazy.
Evans a lot. So I guess it was a good way for her to like interact with other people.
Megan falls hard for Josh. He tells her he was born in Florida and only recently
And Megan asked, "Do you miss Florida?"
moved to her hometown of O'Fallon, Missouri. He also reveals that he
And he said, "Yeah, not my dad. He was an
comes
ass."
from a broken home.
Megan had a big heart.
And
So
she said, "Sorry to hear that."
Megan would feel bad for people who struggled and
So do I.
would get attached emotionally when she worries about somebody. And it ended up to where Megan and Josh said they were in this relationship.
Got an awesome dress for my birthday, polka dots. That's what Megan said. Josh said, "You look good in anything. You're my beautiful princess."
I looked at her and I said, "Meg, honey, how can you be in a relationship with him online? You don't even know him."
Megan
It's
is
my
desperate
birthday
to meet
soon.
Josh
It's my birthday soon. Want to come to my
and
party?
invites him to her 14th birthday party.
He said, "Oh
He
no.
tells her he can't make
Oh no, I gotta go see my family in Florida."
it. Then she asks
What's your phone number?
for his phone number.
Mom can't afford a phone.
He says his mother can't afford a phone.
I worried because there was always this excuse. I don't have a cell phone, or we just moved in, we don't really have internet, I'm using it at a different place. And I even said to Meg, "Honey, something doesn't seem right."
Yeah.
You're so paranoid. It just sounds wrong, that's all.
It didn't sit right, it didn't feel right, but there was nothing I could pinpoint.
As
How's your how's your friend Sarah?
Megan's infatuation with Josh grows, her
Don't know. We don't talk much
friendship
nowadays.
with her neighbor Sarah
Nowadays.
cools off even more. One morning, when Megan's at school, Tina
Says Megan, Josh together forever.
finds the computer on in the basement, with Megan still logged on to MySpace.
Yeah, Megan's still logged on to MySpace, and she seems to be in love, and she's in love with Josh, but you know.
She types hello.
And here comes Megan's mom saying hello.
Josh, a 16-year-old boy who in theory would normally be at school himself, replies.
Hello. With the same.
I sat there and thought for a second. I thought, I'm going to respond to him. And I said, "This is Megan's mom."
Hey, I think you're a little too old for my daughter.
He responded back and said, "Oh, you're wanting to protect your daughter."
I understand your concern.
I really was uneasy because I thought, typically with a 16-year-old boy, they would have either like completely gotten off or they would have said something like, "What a bitch."
Apparently it's an adult, so adults know better than to talk smack like that.
Things didn't feel quite right.
Tina realizes that Megan could be in danger.
I was worried about sexual predators. All of a sudden, I just got this god-awful feeling.
Web of lies. Yeah.
8th grader Megan Meier has formed a close online friendship with a 16-year-old boy she met on MySpace. But her mom is suspicious of his true identity.
I did contact the police, just to find out, is the...
She should have contacted someone else other than the police, like someone who can actually track something, trace it.
This account real or not? Can I find out?
I have a concern about my daughter and someone she's talking to on MySpace.
They basically said, listen, there's no way for us to be able to find out if this account is fake or not, if nothing has been said, if there's nothing of a, that they're intending to hurt her.
All right, fine. Thank you. Who is that? Hey, how was your game? Good. We won 12 to 13. Listen, I just called 911 about Josh.
You did what?
Megan, he's older than you. We don't know anything about him.
Why are you such a control freak?
Oh. And she was like, oh my God, Mom. She was like mortified. You don't trust me. You don't care.
I thought that.
Actually, that's showing care-ness. Her mom did trust her, but she wants to protect her. She cares about Megan deeply. Otherwise, she wouldn't have called to see if that account was fake or not.
Talking to Megan's mom,
Real or not,
would scare him away.
Megan immediately goes back online.
Hey, my mom contacted you about the police to see if you're real or not.
Desperately hoping her mother hasn't scared off her online boyfriend, Josh Evans.
But sure enough, that night, he popped on.
She's probably just trying to
Talked
protect
to Megan
you.
as if nothing had happened. And
Josh
so it
said.
did kind of make us even more suspicious. Like, well, he didn't get scared away, so what's really going on with him?
I really wished that he would just go away. But if I deleted him and said, absolutely, you must delete him now, what she would have done as a typical teenage kid, she would have went behind my back, and then I definitely wouldn't have known what was going on.
Josh and Megan's online romance is back on track. Until 3 weeks before her 14th birthday.
This is where it really ticks me the fuck off. Pardon my language. This part of the fucking story really ticks me the fuck off.
As she makes plans for her upcoming party, she goes online to talk to Josh. And suddenly her world begins to fall.
Because she was handing out invitations.
As she signed on that evening, she had a message from Josh. I don't want
to be friends with you
to be
anymore.
friends with you anymore.
You're not a nice person.
Not a nice person.
Mom,
Yeah?
look at this.
Megan looked at me and she's like, Mom, what do you think that's about? And I said, honey, I have no clue.
He's probably just having a bad day. Don't worry about it.
So she responded back and said, where'd you get this from?
Yeah.
There was no response. She sent it again. Still no response.
Come on, let's go upstairs. I need to...
Then it was getting late and I said, Meg, you need to sign off.
That night, Megan has a hard time shaking off Josh's rejection.
Go get it.
Don't worry, hon, it's nothing.
I was worried because of the path bullying. It was a constant, up and down because of the depression and ADD. So certainly I was concerned about her. And I thought, what's going on? I just had this horrible feeling about Josh Evans. The next day, I picked her up from school, and Megan was upset.
I didn't think anything of it. I was used to it. She had her mood swings.
That's Allison Meier again.
She'd be happy one second, and then she'd be so upset and depressed the next.
Hi. You okay? You alright? Okay, Allison, upstairs. Brush your teeth. Let's go. Hey, are you okay? Don't worry about. Is this about Josh? Don't worry about that.
No, can you lock me out?
Now?
Yes, please.
The moment we walk through the door, instantly she wants to sign on to MySpace. I said, Meg, you've got a few minutes. I've got to take your sister to the orthodontist. I was in a rush, and I left.
Off MySpace. Now.
Just one message.
No, you know the rules. Off.
This time, Tina takes Megan at her word. Just one more message, and she'll turn off the computer. But that's not what happens. Josh finally responds to Megan, but not in the way she was.
You heard me. No one likes you. No one wants to. You heard me. No one likes you. No one wants to be your yeah. Hold on. You heard me. No one likes you. No one wants to be friends with you.
Hoping for.
No one likes you in O'Fallon.
And when Tina calls to check that Megan has signed off,
She was crying, and I said, Meg, what's going on?
Oh, Mom.
A message had came in that said, you heard me. No one likes you. No one wants to be friends with you. I said, Meg, sign off. I will be home.
If I would have known about this, I would have told Megan that Josh isn't real. Don't ever just sign off, and I'll tell you the story, and I'll help you out. You know, she was you know, when I heard this story was back in 2011 when I was 19. I heard about it because of the Phoebe Prince story. They said this isn't the first time cyberbullying has ended in death. In 2006, 13-year-old Megan Meier killed herself after being harassed on MySpace by a neighbor's mother posing as a teenage boy.
it only gets worse.
Survey, do you agree? Okay, I'm sick of this. One girl claimed that if Megan would have, that she wanted to say this so Megan would leave him alone because they were going to delete the MySpace, but they made it worse. Survey, do you agree? Megan Meier is a slut, Megan Meier is fat.
Because Josh has convinced dozens of his online friends and kids from Megan's old school to mock her with the most...
Here is the worst part of it all.
It only gets worse because Josh has convinced dozens of his online friends and kids from Megan's old school to mock
You're such a
her
bitch.
with the
I hate
most
you.
vicious...
You're a fat ass. You're a slut. Whore. You freak. How can you say shit like this?
I called her probably another half an hour later. She was sobbing. I couldn't even understand her. And I said, Meg, okay, stop. What's going on?
Posting a survey about me. Megan Meyer's a slut. Megan Meyer's fat.
Megan, log off right now. I'll be home soon, okay? But log off right now. Megan?
I knew I needed to get home because I was worried about her.
You're a disgusting person. Everyone hates you. Stop messaging me. You know what? To the people who made up this MySpace, you guys need to rot in fucking hell. This is not what people with hearts do. This is what heartless assholes do. Please stop saying this, please. That's what Megan said. Then you see whore.
At 5 p.m., Tina and Allison arrive back at the house.
Megan was sobbing at the computer.
They hate me. Everyone hates me.
By now, an all-out online war has broken out between Megan, Josh, and their friends.
Megan started lashing back, saying, I'm not these things, you're these things. I was looking.
I don't blame Megan for saying I'm not these things, you're these things. I would have stood up and told everyone to shut up and leave this poor innocent girl alone before I report you to the police. go fuck yourself or something like that.
At this whole entire tornado.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I am a Christian, but I can sometimes lose my temper. I have lost my temper many times in my life. I've gone to shoving people against the wall. Yes. Now, let's move along.
Everyone in my asked you to log off. Why did you not log off when I asked you to?
You're gonna blame me for this?
No, this is why your father and I give you rules.
Supposed to be on
I would have helped.
My side. Megan.
She said you're supposed to be on my side. Megan's mom shouldn't have chastised her because that's what made everything worse.
My mom was really mad because my sister wasn't listening to her. So she was mad and ticked off when she got home, and it didn't help the situation because Megan was upset.
Megan, stop.
Hey. What's going on? What's happening?
Being cruel again.
Who's being cruel? Megan, who's being cruel?
Bullies on MySpace.
Oh, Megan, they don't even know you. Sweetie, everything will be fine. Wow, it is really coming down out there.
It is, yeah. I'm really rethinking this MySpace thing.
Yeah, I can see why.
I was trying to talk to Ron to explain to him what was going on, and he was frustrated with all of it. I knew that letting Megan kind of cool off for, a few minutes would be fine.
I would have gone to their house that night and told her that Josh doesn't exist. I know everything about it, and I would have tried to calm Megan down and helped her out and help her get through because she didn't deserve this. No one deserves this. No one in their right mind deserves this. I only be cruel back if people are cruel to me or say something to me. Yes, I'm mean sometimes too, but usually I have a really big heart and I'm very generous.
20 minutes probably went by.
She's really fragile right now, I just hate how these kids treat each other.
I just wish... All of a sudden, I just stopped in mid-sentence. I just got this feeling that ran through my entire body that's just god-awful feeling.
Here's where it gets bad.
It just was this feeling that I had as a mom. I mean, I don't know how to explain it.
That's Web of Lies. That's when she saw her daughter hanging.
A devastated Megan Meier has shut herself in her room after enduring a session of vicious bullying online, provoked by her so-called boyfriend.
It was only 20 minutes. 20 minutes and one floor up, and your entire life is just completely changed. Ron ran downstairs to get a knife to cut her down. I tried picking her up, and I couldn't. Allison ran upstairs where I am frantically screaming, and Ron is trying to give Megan CPR, but she's lifeless.
I just remember walking upstairs and seeing my sister.
And I screamed to her to go get Blaine. Go get Blaine.
Oh, poor Megan. Having to go through all this. Yeah, there are some tears in my eyes. Oh.
Because I knew that he was a lifeguard.
I ran down the street and I remember it was pouring, raining out.
I had just gotten off of work, and all of a sudden there's a knock on the door.
What is it? My mom needs you.
It was Allison saying, my sister's not breathing. I don't know what to do.
Mom, where's my CPR kit?
My initial reaction was that she's having maybe a reaction to a medication.
Come on!
Allison was just in pure shock. I don't know really if she knew what was going on at that time.
Wake up, wake up, wake up!
911! My daughter! My daughter!
I think I was in so much shock. I think I was running around in circles upstairs, downstairs, begging for 911 to get there. Just please.
Oh my God!
It was pouring down rain. I was like on my knees in the front yard, begging them to please get there, please get there.
When I arrived, Megan didn't have a pulse and she wasn't breathing on her own.
4 times 4!
Ron, he didn't really know what to do. He was nervous, obviously. For CPR, they always tell you in training that you'll break some ribs. I did. I believe I broke Megan's ribs.
Tina was a wreck. She was on the ground with 911 saying, it's my fault, it's my fault.
Just seeing my mom. It's horrible.
I said, what happened? And she just looked at me and said, Megan hung herself.
Wake up, baby, please wake up!
It felt like an eternity of me sitting there giving compressions.
Where's the ambulance?
When the ambulance arrived, Megan had a slight pulse, but she wasn't breathing on her own.
They stated that she had really been probably without air for about 20 minutes.
Looking for a quick and easy way to update your living room? Visit wayfair.com to spice up your stay.
For about 20 minutes.
I just kept praying.
They grabbed a stretcher.
I'd had a little gold cross necklace, and I just remember praying, like, just for something, so that it wasn't, she wouldn't, I didn't even know.
That's Megan's sister
I
again.
just didn't even know what was going on.
13-year-old Megan Meier is pronounced dead the next day.
We all stood around her and held her. She took her last breath and the pain of losing a child is with me for life. It never goes away.
But what or who caused Megan to kill herself? The answer will be too horrifying to imagine. Ron is overwhelmed by grief and anger. He wants to find Josh Evans, the boy who could be responsible for his daughter's death.
We felt absolutely that Josh Evans...
I can bet you anything that Ron is pissed off. If I had a daughter and someone did that to my daughter, I would fight in court for this shit. You people, you little pieces of shit who made fun of her, I hope you have to live with this grief for the rest of your fucking life. The rest of your fucking life. Fucking assholes. I mean, you have seriously no motherfucking morality.
account what
You have no empathy.
was the trigger for Megan's suicide. With the ups and downs that she'd had and
Hold up.
Empathy.
It's the ability to understand the feelings of another. So I don't think you guys have any empathy at all. So you don't know how she felt. Yeah, you were saying this, and quite frankly, I don't think you really give a fucking shit.
she was doing so well, and then all of a sudden it came crashing down on her. Ron wanted to go back to the house to see, was there a suicide? No. Was there something? Did we miss? He wanted to just find Josh Evans and to find out what was your motive. Why did you all of a sudden turn? What was the whole thing about? Ron didn't find a note, but he looked on the computer.
He sees that Megan was still logged on to MySpace, and a last message is on the screen.
Everybody in O'Fallon knows who you are. You're a bad person. Everyone hates you. Have a shitty rest of your life. The world would be a better place without you. This is what I have to say to the people who did that. This is a sign to them. Fuck you! You fucking pricks. This is another sign to them. Just like the angry video game nerd. I'm just pissed that that would happen. Here's more.
Tina, I found a message from Josh on MySpace. This is what he writes. Everybody in O'Fallon knows who you are. You're a bad person and everyone hates you. Have a rest of your life. The world would be a better place without you.
When he told me about that, I just thought, I can't believe someone would say that to somebody else. I mean, she was this kid that then left this world thinking that no one cares, no one likes her.
Megan had a lot of depression, and she had a life that would have been filled, that if I would have saved her, she would have had a life right now. She still has a life because she's not dead. You don't die, only your body does, but you're still alive. It's what Jesus said, there's no such thing as death.
Then, no sooner does he read it, the message disappears.
It says account deleted. No, it's just gone.
I just didn't understand who was this person, because now when we looked, that MySpace account was deleted.
He was just gone. She thought that somehow he knew something had happened and deleted his MySpace.
Once that account was deleted, there was nothing left. Any comments that he had made on me.
I want to say something really quick. This is kind of like the Columbine Massacre video, and sort of like the Phoebe Prince video. Columbine Massacre video called 0 Hour, that had people talking about what was going on with these teenagers, like Eric Harrison, Dylan Klebold, and you have actors playing them, you know.
Megan's page, those were gone. So it was just as if it never existed.
When the rest of the Meier family returns to the house the next day, they come home to a neighborhood in shock and disbelief over what could cause a 13-year-old girl to kill herself.
The weeks that followed Megan's passing were just the longest days. You know, it was laying in her bedroom for hours and hours and hours at a time. I could not sleep. I would stay up through the night, researching, looking, trying to see if I could find this Josh Evans. But then it was all dead ends. I mean, everything I searched, everything I did, hours and hours and hours, nothing. I don't even think I had the energy to be furious or mad at this point. I was just a walking zombie with just nothing inside.
As the weeks pass, Josh Evans remains an enigma. Then, out of the blue, the Meyer's neighbor, Lori Drew, reaches out.
One day, we got a call from Lori Drew asking that we come down to Sarah's birthday party. And Sarah's birthday is like 3 days after Megan's birthday. And she said, we would love to have you guys come down. Sarah would be so happy.
They really felt that they needed.
I didn't hear that part, but this is what really enrages me. This is for Lori Drew. Fuck you. You asked them to come to your daughter's party, and you're the one who drove Megan to suicide. This is kind of what the angry video game nerd did to the nostalgia critic. Let's move on.
To go to that birthday party just to kind of be there for Sarah because they thought that she was struggling with Megan's death.
3 days prior, we went to Megan's, mausoleum and had to celebrate her birthday there.
Hey, so glad you guys made it. Come in, we're just about to sing happy birthday.
At the birthday party, absolutely all I thought about was Megan should be here. We should have been able to do this with Megan.
All right, well, happy birthday to...
They turned the lights out and lit the birthday candles and started singing, and Ron was so...
I bet Megan would have loved to go there.
...visibly upset, he walked out.
Ron! Wait!
I can't believe that they put themselves through it. And I cannot believe that Lori Drew invited them to Sarah's birthday party. It's so close to Megan's death.
I'm sorry.
I understand. I know you've been
Give our best to Sarah.
As Lori goes after Tina, someone else watches from across the street. A neighbor who knows a terrible secret.
Wait, I actually did want to ask you.
I was standing out front and I watched that very carefully because I thought, oh, did
Michelle Mufflord neighbor.
Lori tell them
Sorry,
what she knew about Josh Evans? Very carefully because I thought, oh, did Lori tell them what she knew about Josh Evans?
What? We have a foosball table for Sarah for Christmas, and I'm wondering if you could store it for us in a garage. Yeah.
I know the truth about that foosball table, and I'm not gonna get into that right now.
But Lori reveals nothing to Tina. She just wants the grieving Meier family to hide her daughter's Christmas present.
It was kind of thrown back at me, this is up to you, Michelle, to make the decision on whether or not to tell.
I don't know, Christy. I don't think the meetings are helping. I just feel so empty.
The next day, we had a grief support meeting with other parents who had lost their children to suicide.
You ready?
Yeah. Listen, talk to you later, okay? Okay. Actually, I got another call coming in too. All right, bye. Hello?
I received a call from
Michelle Mulford?
Oh, yeah, number 14.
Hi, Michelle.
Michelle Mulford and her daughter Jessica were neighbors. They lived down the street. I didn't know much of her at all.
What can I do for you?
She said, please come to a meeting today. It's about Megan's death.
It had been 5 weeks since Megan had passed, and I felt very strongly that they needed to know the truth.
You know what? Ron and I are just leaving.
I thought, lady, I don't even know you. I'm trying to just survive here. What information are you going to be able to tell me about my daughter's death?
Michelle, we don't have time. We gotta go.
I didn't know if she wanted to just talk about what happened and why and all that.
Look, Michelle, I really don't
I said,
Today, I'm going to show you how to use Wayfair.com to create a budget-friendly window seat in a snap.
What happened and why and all that.
Look, Michelle, I really don't
I said, it's very, very important. I have some information that I would like to share with you. Please.
All right. Ron and I are on our way.
I had no clue. I had no idea what was going on. Something just wasn't right.
Tina and Ron don't know it, but they're about to meet the dark truth head on.
I felt the most amount of anger I've ever felt in my entire life.
6 weeks after Tina and Ron Meier's daughter Megan committed suicide, a neighbor they barely know insists that they meet.
When Ron and Tina walked in the room, they looked very confused.
Tina, Ron, can you guys have a seat, please?
I was nervous telling them because I did not know what was going to happen,
Michelle
but they needed
Mulford
to know what I knew.
I have something to tell you about Megan's death.
What?
Josh Evans, he's not real.
Of course he is.
He drove Megan to suicide.
He's an invention.
What?
It was Sarah's mom, Lori Drew. Lori Drew is Josh Evans.
It's almost beyond belief, but together with her daughter Sarah and her new
It shows that people here are enjoying it.
best friend Ashley,
And it's
What?
disgusting.
John.
Because Sarah should have tried to work things out with Megan and not just made her life a hell, which I don't think she meant to.
Evans.
Because Megan's friend was only 13.
He's not real. Of course he is.
He drove Megan to suicide.
He's an invention.
What?
It was Sarah's mom, Lori Drew. Lori Drew is Josh Evans.
It's almost beyond belief, but together with her daughter Sarah and her new best friend Ashley, Lori Drew created the fake persona of Josh Evans.
Lori was the chief, and they were the Indians. My daughter told me that...
And it seems like those three actors are enjoying this, which you should never enjoy.
Lori wanted to play a trick on Megan because Megan apparently was being mean to Sarah.
She was going to have Josh send a message to Megan and invite her to the mall. And then when she showed up, they were all going to line up and laugh at her.
I said, I'm so sorry. That's the truth.
That they were actually going to invite her to the mall and laugh at her? You don't laugh at people, you... Lori Drew, you're just a massive bitch.
Lori and Sarah were bragging about her.
That was when I felt the anger, the most amount of anger I've ever felt in my entire life.
She did this to me.
In that 30 minutes, they went through all these emotions.
You knew. How long have you known?
Sadness, to disbelief, to horror, to anger. Oh, very angry.
I remember leaving there and thinking all I was going to do was I was going straight back to that house and I was going to get him. I'm going down there with my own two hands. I'm ripping you two apart. That's it.
Ron and Tina head home, barely hanging on.
When we got back to the house, our garage door opened. When we saw that foosball table, it was like this split-second decision. So we grabbed it.
I know what they did. Here it comes.
Got an axe and a sledgehammer and literally busted this thing into pieces.
They smashed the foosball table into pieces, which, yeah.
We were in so much rage. Honestly, when we were doing that, it was like trying to destroy them. Because they've destroyed our lives.
And I saw Ron and Tina tearing it to pieces. They were very, very distraught, just devastated, angry, shocked. It was just a ball of emotion.
I think they just screamed, "Bitch, you bitch." I don't blame them.
And I saw Ron and Tina tearing it to pieces.
Just listen
they
carefully.
Were very, very distraught, just devastated, angry, shocked. It was just a ball of emotion.
They dumped the smashed up table onto Lori Drew's front yard.
I took the big cardboard box it went with and I spray painted Merry Christmas on it.
Merry fucking Christmas. And yeah.
I didn't want anyone to know where I was. I mean, my car was in the garage, my blinds were drawn, I had no lights on. I just wasn't sure what was going to happen.
All of a sudden, coming down the street was Lori Drew. Lori's hands were in the air like, what's going on? What's happening?
Tina, it's me, Lori. I just want to tell you our side. I think that I owe you an explanation.
You owe me a daughter! You bitch! You bitch! Oh my God, you
Ron drugged me back and said,
It's me, Lori.
Listen to this.
I just want to tell you our side. I think that I owe you an explanation.
You owe me a daughter! You bitch! You bitch! Oh my God, you
Ron drug me back and said, do not. You're not going to do this. Allison, you've got to think about Allison. I called her probably every vile name that came out of my mouth.
You have any idea what you said to me?
She was very close to being lynched, but I think in her mind they were going to explain themselves away.
I want you to feel what I feel.
I kind of understand what they went through. I lost a friend in my sophomore year because he killed himself, and I was shocked because Austin, the kid, Austin always seemed perfectly happy. Yeah. Continuing on with this.
No remorse. It was just, they need
If you don't feel any remorse, you're just a loser.
to explain it away.
Or just a moron. If you want to know the clear description, a lunatic is a mentally ill person, which I think they are lunatics. And, yeah,
Having someone you considered a sister taken away over something so trivial was beyond me, and I just remember hatred would be the best word describing my feelings.
I will never understand why they would ever do it in the first place. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I tried doing everything I could to stay away from that family because anytime I even got near, literally my body would boil.
But Lori hasn't finished with the Meyers yet.
Police?
Web of lies.
Tina and Ron Meier are reeling from the discovery that their neighbor, Lori Drew, is responsible for their daughter's death. And now, Lori's called the police on them.
We had no clue why they did that. We thought maybe they were fearful for their life. We weren't really sure of what was going on.
Why did I call you? Because they smashed our property.
They smashed the foosball table, and they got a charge put on them. But to Lori Drew, I'm sorry, you had that coming to you. You need to realize you had that coming to you. So don't go blaming the Meyers for this. You had that coming. You should have expected that.
Lucky, that's all that got smashed.
They think I'm
Lucky that's all they got smashed. If my friend would have been in the middle of this, my friend would have stormed in there and yelled himself hoarse and arrested all of them. And he would have put Lori Drew in an insane asylum or something. She's an adult.
responsible for their daughter's death.
She faked being a 16-year-old boy.
They were fearful for their life.
Listen to
We
this.
weren't really sure of what was going on.
Why did I call you? Because they smashed our property.
She's lucky, that's all that got smashed.
They think I am responsible for their daughter's death.
She faked being a 16-year-old boy that crushed my daughter, and now my daughter is dead.
I want to press charges.
She's pressing charges?
I think that Lori Drew is a very, very sick woman.
Yep.
I think that they enjoyed watching our grief and our pain.
You looking into it?
Ron and I were both getting enraged again because it was like, what can we do? Something has to be done.
No charges are brought against the Meyers over the property damage. Instead, the police and FBI investigate Lori's involvement in Megan's death. But there's a problem.
They said there's nothing that can be done.
You guys are idiots. You need to stop.
We don't have laws in place around the issues of cyberbullying. Maybe you should
How about someone hanging themselves?
look into getting the laws changed.
Tina decides to take their story to the national news.
Drew, who is the mother of one of Meier's friends, had been facing up to 3 years in prison and a $300,000 fine.
When the media found out about the story, getting the laws changed,
Tina decides to take their story to the national news.
Drew, who is the mother of one of Meier's friends, had been facing up to 3 years in prison and a $300,000 fine.
When the media found out about the story, people...
By the way, my girlfriend gave me this for Valentine's Day. I'm going to put it on because I love my... actually, my fiance. I love my fiance with all my heart. You know, if I ever lost my fiance, I would bawl my eyes out for the rest of my life because I love her more than anything in the world.
From around this world were outraged. They could not believe that an adult was behind this.
Thanks to the uproar ignited by the media, Lori Drew is brought to trial for fraud. She is convicted, but the judge overturns the verdict, explaining that the precedent of convicting Lori over a fake MySpace account would mean that anyone who lies on the internet could be charged.
Judging to what's going on here, I heard you can get in trouble for making up an account like that. There's a kid who went to high school, my fiance, named Andreas. He's just an asshole, and he created like 30 or 40 Facebooks. I one time said 900 because he created so many, and I blocked a lot of his accounts because I don't want to be friends with him. He's an asshole. Became an asshole right here.
As the media attention continues, Lori and her family move out of their house on Waterford Crystal Drive and relocate to a new town 2 years after Megan's death.
When the Drews were moving out, I stood outside their house and I said, "You can try all you want."
As the media attention continues, Lori and her family move out of their house on Waterford Crystal Drive and relocate to a new town 2 years after Megan's death.
Megan's mom, Tina, she said some very hurtful things that she couldn't say on camera. Of course, probably "fuck you," "you're a bitch," "go fuck yourself" or something like that. Yeah.
When the Drews were moving out, I stood outside their house and I said, "You can try all you want, but this will never end. I hope you understand."
I will fight this for the rest of my life until I take my last breath. I will absolutely not stop.
Megan took with her a piece of everybody, and everybody was affected, no matter who you were, if you were family or, you know, a neighbor.
Blaine Buckles, this guy looks like a great guy. I would have been, if I could have helped Megan, I would have.
Everybody felt the impact of what happened.
It was definitely really depressing and sad for a long time.
I kept having to tell myself nothing I was going to do was going to get Megan back. But I have another daughter, and I need to be able to show my other daughter that even through the worst part of your life and tragedies, that you can pull the pieces together and you can do something positive out of it.
After the tragedy, Tina created the Megan Meier Foundation.
I wanted to share her story to help others around the issues of bullying and cyberbullying.
Definitely it changed her, going out and doing something good with
Tina, Allison, Ron, if you ever watch this video, I'm very sorry for what happened to all of you. Although Megan's gone, always know that she lives in you and she loves you because you guys were her family. You people were her family and she loves you.
something bad that had happened. I think it gave her hope.
If I could change the hands of time and have that child here with me today, I would give my life for her, absolutely, but I can't. You know, if through her tragedy it's helped us learn how to help other people and share that, then I'm grateful to do it. It keeps me going every day thinking, how can we help that one more child?
Tina has also forced changes to the laws regarding cyberbullying in the hope it will help others find justice. In 2009, the state of Missouri introduced a law to criminalize use of the internet to harass someone. It is known as Megan's Law.
You know, there are some times that I'll look at pictures of her and I'll say, didn't you know how beautiful you were? You were just this amazing kid. I think that she really would be proud. I really believe that she is happy with what we're doing, and I just can't wait to see her one day, to be able to share it all. It was like this split-second decision. So we grabbed it, got it.
There is some background on this.
And a sledgehammer, and literally busted this thing into pieces. We were in so much rage. Honestly, when we were doing that, it was like trying to destroy them.
I don't blame them for that.
Because they've destroyed our lives.
And I saw Ron and Tina tearing it to pieces.
I want to see this.
They were very, very distraught.
Tina and Allison arrive back at the house.
Oh, I guess the rest is just backflashes, I guess. Hold on.
Because there was always this excuse. I don't have a cell phone, or we just moved in, we don't really have...
I think that Ashley girl was actually Lori Drew's co-worker, I believe, and she came out a year later and felt really bad about what happened. I can see, you know. Tina, Allison, Ron, I'm very sorry what happened. How you lost your daughter. Lori Drew, you should be ashamed of yourself for the rest of your life. Megan, may you rest in peace. You're an angel now. You're in heaven. You're in everyone's heart. You'll be remembered forever. She was a very beautiful girl. But, yeah, this is very sad. Alright, so thank you all for watching. I hope that Megan is happy in heaven. She's with Jesus, and Jesus loves her, and Jesus will help her any way she can. And I am a fully Christian. I just lost my temper today because I was very mad. I started to cry a little bit because I felt bad for what happened to them. Walking in here, sister dying. I almost lost my sister when I was in 3rd grade because she almost died in a car wreck. I'm not going to go into details because I was worried. But I'm just not going to go into details about that because it's too horrific. This is a car accident. Yeah, it's not suicide, which is also very sad. But I have always been worried that night I almost lost my sister due to a car wreck. I want you all to stay up to date and subscribe. Watch this video, share it with your friends so everyone knows how this family feels going through losing a daughter. Alright, thank you all for watching. Alright, bye. Peace.